Shalom, shalom. Give me a few seconds. Let me put this out to the brothers in the group. Boys. About to start right now, Salakia. Shalom, brother, shalom. I forgot to fill the banner up this time. Oh well. Okay, that's good. Yeah, we're about to get started. Salakia for the head cover today. My shit is looking wild. Took my braids out last night and saw crazy stuff. First and foremost, we're going to start with giving all honor and praise to the Most High God in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world inwardly calls Christ. My brother Zahar Yaquab from the 12 Gates Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Just kidding. Anyways, yeah, we're going to get this. We're going to talk about stars and lilies and remphan, right? We're going to deal with that today. Now, we're going to start kind of quick, and then we're going to go into what remphan is. Now, I'm just going to give you the biblical definition of what a star is, showing you what stars are. All right. First, we're going to go to 2nd Ezra's. Was there wisdom of Solomon? Let's try wisdom. Actually, I might be able to pull that. Nah, they only have songs. Yeah, they only have songs of Solomon. I wish I could pull it on the screen for you guys, Salakia. But we'll just pull it straight out the book. One earlier. To the Romans. Okay, I got it. Where is... People need to stop coming to my workspace, man. What? Here we go. Yeah, let's get that. Okay, so we're going to go with Wisdom of Solomon. And it's going to be the first 2 verses, chapter 13. Yeah. For those of you that don't know, Wisdom of Solomon is going to be in the Apocrypha, towards the end by the book of Baruch. Oh, actually, Salakia, it's in between Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, and Esther. Just to help in case brothers is struggling to get there. But yeah, we're about to get into this, man. We're about to get this lesson going and cracking off, right? What are we talking about? Right. Now, this is the biblical definition of star. Now we're going to go into what definitions there are out in the world, right? So this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verses 1 and 2. Surely vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of God. So surely vain are all men who are ignorant of the nature of God, right? They don't have no understanding. God. Better. So yeah, I moved it. There we go. That'll work. So they're ignorant. They don't understand the nature. God. Right? And could not out of the good things, right, that is, or Slakia, that are seen, know him that is, right? So even out of the good things that are seen, they wouldn't understand because they don't know what it is, right? Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the work master. So neither by considering and seeing the works did they know. They were just like, oh shit, it is. Hey, that's a pomegranate, right? It's fruit. Let's eat it. They don't understand what that is. Right? They have no knowledge. But deemed either fire or wind or swift air or the circle of the stars, right? The circle of the stars, because what do we know what a star is, right? A star isn't an object with points, all right? That's a term or a definition that came later, right? Previous to the mid 13th century, a star was just a luminous body. That's the only definition you can find, and I'll show that later. Stars or the swift, violent water or the lights of the heaven to be the gods which govern the world, right? So we know that the lights of the heaven is the sun and the moon, right? The stars, the circle of the stars. We know that the sun is a star, correct? Now, let's move that out the way. Let's go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to start with origin, right? We're going to start with the origin, the etymology. I wish I had 2 monitors because it would be a lot easier, but let's start with this one, right? Let me check the stream. Okay, come on, let's go with 1 screen. Oh no. Here we go. This is the one that we need. The water, give me a moment. Old English, Steora, right? Star, from Proto-Germanic, sternan, source, also of Old Saxon stero, Old Frisian stera, Dutch stir, Old High German stero, German stern, Old Norse stargen, Swedish stargen, Danish stieren, Gothic sterino. This is from the Pi root star, astrological sense of influence of planets, right? And the zodiac on human affairs, right? This is dealing with astrology, right? Is recorded from the mid 13th century, hence person's fate as figured in the stars. So since the 13th century, it's been known as basically for astrology and astronomy, right? That's what we know. The sky, that's where the stars are. All right, and now I'm going to show you and start to break it down on why we believe that the lily and the star are 2 different things, right? Now let's look at the 1590s definition. We can see all through here the 1600s, star-crossed, ill-fated is form of Romeo and Juliet, meaning lead performer, right? That's when it's turned into the lead performer. In the 1824, star turn is from 1898. Stars as a ranking of quality for hotels, right? So since the 80s, we've been using stars to rank. Those are made-believe things, right? things that do not exist. Brass stars as police, right? Okay, so that is dealing with star cluster is from 1870 to see stars when one is hit hard on the head, right? Set with the stars, meaning perform the lead part of actors, singers, etc., is from 1824. Sporting sense in from 1916. Related starring, right? Nowhere is that point definition, right? There's no object that is a star. That's the etymology, right? Online etymology dictionary, right? So we're gonna go ahead and come back here. We're gonna remove that. And we're gonna actually get rid of that. We're gonna go to the next one. Ooh, Slovakia. Share screen. Yeah. Let's go to the Merriam-Webster dictionary first. All right. And let's go. Let's check the original definition of star on Bing. All right. Let's check that out. Yeah, you guys can see that. That's fine. A star is a sphere of gas held together by its own gravity. The closest star to Earth is our very own sun. So we have an example nearby that astronomers can study in detail. The lessons we learn about the sun can be applied to other stars. A star's life is a constant struggle against the force of gravity. All right. So we understand that is the sun, right? It's a star, big, round, circular thing, right? Now let's go ahead and exit out of this. Come back to the stream, Tawada. Let's see what the hell this is talking about. We're gonna go to another definition right now. Slovakia. Man, I never show me that tip again. All right, we're gonna get to Wikitory. And no, let's actually, I want to save that because that has so much on it. Let's get this Merriam-Webster dictionary. Most High in Christ, where's my phone? Looks like work needs me to do something. Let's go ahead and full screen this. A natural luminous body, visible in the sky, especially at night, right? A self-luminous gaseous spheroidal celestial body of great mass, which produces energy by means of nuclear fission. A planet or configuration of the planets that is held in astrology to influence one's destiny or fortune, usually used in plural. A waxing or waning fortune of fame, right? Her star was rising, right? B, absolute destiny, right? Now, this is where we get into it being a figure, right? A conventional figure with 5 or more points and represents a star, especially an asterisk, right? An often star-shaped ornament or medal worn as badge of honor, authority, rank, or the insignia of an order. And what this is right here, this goes back to the slave catchers, the Irish, right? That medal, that badge, right? Which they took the symbol of the Jews, the lily, right? The Hebrews, which we'll get into proving that a lily and a star are two completely different things, right? One of a group of conventional stars used to place something in a scale of value, right? Something resembling a star, a principal member of a theatrical or operatic company who usually the chief role, right? A highly publicized theatrical or motion picture performer, right? These are what stars are, the definitions, right? It's the verb, an adjective of relating to or being a star, right? Right, synonymous for star, luminary, sphere, sun. Synonymous adjective, right? Astral, starry, stellar, right? Look at these are adjectives and nouns. right? We don't really see the use of a star very much as being an inanimate object that is made, right? There's only a very few definitions of it, right? So we can understand that. Now let's go ahead bring this other one out. Slovakia. Don't show me these tips again, but now let's get the Wikitory, right? And then we're gonna go on to our lesson. Star, right? Wikitory. Let's get it. Star, any small luminous dot appearing in a cloudless portion of the night sky, especially with a fixed location relative to other such dots, right? That's how we used to basically navigate. And I can show you that in the Bible too. We'll go to that. We'll show astronomy, a luminous celestial body made up of plasma, particularly hydrogen and helium, and having a spherical shape. Depending on context, the sun may or may not be included, right? So we understand the star. Now let's get the points, right? The pointy part. Let's get to the point, right? This is what they understand of a star. Most people's understanding of a star is what they think of when they think of a star. It's geometry, math, right? A concave polygon with regular pointy protrusions, Slovakia, and indentations, generally with 5 or 6 points, right? In geometry is dealing with math, geometry, right? And then the only other one that's dealing with like an actual something is right here, right? Printing an asterisk, right? Symbol used to rate hotels. We know those are, it's all bull. Yes. Astrology, a planet supposed to influence one's destiny, right? Astrology, right? Now an ornament, right? A composition of combustible matter used in the heading of rockets in mimes with exploding in the air, present in star-like appearance. All right, let's just look at these. All right, featured performers. All right, let's look at this. Astronomy, black hole, galaxy, moon, bullet, planet, red giant. Why? Because those are all dealing with term stars. That's where the stars are in the sky, right? Look at French etymology, right? From English star pronunciation. I don't know what the pronunciation is, but look, she became a star, celebrity, right? See, this is everything right here. Every language you can pull it up in is right here. All right. Not in very many languages are you going to find that a star is a pointed object. All right. Let's go ahead and finish that out. Now let me show you what a lily is. All right. I also want to look at something real quick. Sea plants, lily. So when you look in the definition of lily, in the Zondervan Bible Compact Dictionary, it tells you to go to plants. All right, so let's go to plants. Let's get this because I didn't look at this one. So see what the Spirit has to guide us. This has so much about Paul. Good for Paul. Like 3 pages of just Paul. Plants of the Bible. All right. Lilies of the field in Jerusalem area, right? PS. They don't really give much. They only show you images of what the lilies would look like. And they don't even give you really good images. But I can assure you there's 6 points. Let's see. Yeah, they only give you pictures, which is actually kind of sad. But I actually got any definition for you anyways. And astronomy, right? We're going to deal with star, the word. I actually forgot about the... Okay, so this is star, the definition, right? Pieces of it, right? You have to go all the way to astronomy to find it. Also, I wanted to give one little exhortation on Ashereth, right? Real quick at the bottom. Genesis related the name of Ashereth to the Persian word Shatara or star and connects it with Venus, right? With Venus, right? Who they say is the goddess of love, right? Because they used to correlate gods and goddesses with planets, right? But Israel used to do the same thing. And I'll go on to show you guys that later on in this video. So go ahead and remember that. Right? That's a good precept. All right, now also Psalms 147:4 in the 19th Psalm, there is a beautiful poem telling how the heavenly bodies, referring to the stars, show forth the glory of their creator. Right, so we know that a star is a heavenly body, right? Okay, now I'm going to show you what a lily is before I make this argument about why a star, to the terms of what you say, like what we wear, a lily, right? The shield of David, right? The Star of David, right? We're going to show you why that star in a modern, an actual star isn't the same thing compared to what a modern terminology star is. Thought in geology, right? In geology, in math, okay? We got to understand that that term with points is only used in math or as a decorative term, right? Now let's deal with this. We're going to go ahead, yeah. We'll go to Acts later, Acts 7. Actually, you know what? Yeah, because I dealt with star. Let's deal with it. Let's deal with the star remphan. Salakia. I'm all over the place, huh? Let's deal with the star remphan. Let's show what that means, and then I'll show you what a lily is. All right. Ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch and the star of your god Remphan, figures which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you beyond Babylon. So they made figures to worship, right? What figures did they make? Let's understand what Moloch is. All right. First, just get an understanding of these words, right? Moloch, king, the name of an idol god of the Ammonites, which human victims, particularly young children, were offered in sacrifices. Image of the hollow brazen figure with the head of an ox and outstretched human arms, and it was heated red hot by a fire from within, and the little ones placed in its arms to be slowly burned, while to prevent the parents from hearing the dying cries, the sacrificing priest beat drums, right? Molech, idol. Right, so we know it's an idol. And with the head of an ox. So that's not a star. Of course, they're going to be like, well, that's not the star, brother. That's Moloch, right? Let's go ahead. Let's go on. And the star. Let's deal with this word. It is the Greek G798. So let's go ahead and get it.
Strong's G798. Astran.
Astran. Almost reminds you of the word Aslan, right? The Hebrew Aslan, right? Aztecas, which actually were called, and they called themselves the Mexica, right? We know that the Aztecs, that's a word that came from the oppressor. Now, the definition is great. A group of stars, a constellation, a star, meaning a planet. All right, a planet. All right. Oh, there's, okay, God. Tawada. Dios, God. We know what that means, right? Oh, excuse me, Slovakia. Let's get it. G4481. Remphan. Right? The shrunken as lifeless, the name of an idol worshipped secretly by the Israelites in the wilderness. In the wilderness, right? An Egyptian idol, Remphan. Right? So we've been worshiping this in Egypt. Back in Egypt, right? Now let me show you. Planets, right? Stars. Big round celestial bodies. All right, that's what we're getting. That's what these things are, right? Our fathers had tabernacles of witnesses in the wilderness, as he had appointed, speaking unto Moses, that ye should make it according to the fashion that he seen, right? Now, let's just deal with this, man. Let's deal with this. Let's show you what they were talking about, right? 2 Kings 23, right? Let's go to verse 5. And this has been Israel's problem for a long time, man. And it's still to this day. You know, Jakes don't understand. We use the sun, the moon, the stars, and the skies, but we were never to make images of them, right? And Jake went off, man, because that's what we were doing. We were making these images, and we were praying to him. And I mean, let's take Gad, right? Gad has Father Time, Mother Earth, right? The spirit of the lake, right? Spirit of fire, right? They worship these things, right? Issachar, the jaguar, the spirit of the jaguar. They worship these things. The toad, right? They worship these, right? So we have to understand this. This is 2 Kings 23. I'm going to start at 40 context of what's going on, right? And the king commanded Hilkiah, the high priest, and the priest of the second order, and the keepers of the doors to bring forth out of the temple the Lord all the vessels that were made for Baal. So we had been already doing these things, right? Since the time of Kings. This is after coming out of the, out of the wilderness and setting up, you know what I mean? And we're still doing these things from the wilderness. I mean, Israel has been getting destroyed. Talking about plenty of people had died from the time of the Exodus in Egypt to the time of the kingdom, right? And why were they being destroyed? Because of things like this right here. Baal, right? Vessels that were made for Baal and for the grove and for all the host of heaven. All the host of heaven. See, we were making idols from the host of heaven, right? From the skies. We were making things that looked like that, right? We were making those images. And what did God tell us? I'll get to that, right? And he burned them without Jerusalem in the fields of Kidron and carried the ashes of them unto Bethel, right? Now let's get verse 5 because this is where it is. And he put down the idolatrous priest. Ooh, so he put him down. He killed him, right? Whom the kings of Judah had ordained to burn incense in the high places. So the kings of Judah, you wicked ass southern kingdom brothers, repent. Just kidding, man. Right? In the cities of Judah and in the places round about, while we're telling them to repent, Gad's over here worshiping a deer at the lake. Right? Oh man, let's get to this lock in. And in the places round about Jerusalem, them also that burn incense unto Baal, to the sun, and to the moon, and to the planets, and to all the host of heaven, right? So that's what our people were doing, right? And that's off, man. We weren't supposed to do that. Why? What does the Ten Commandments say, man? Right? Let's get it. Let's get it. It's gonna be somewhere in Exodus. I'll find it right now, Slocky. Oh yeah, Deuteronomy. Actually, make it easier, right? I'm not good. This is. Exodus 20. Slovakia. All right. Here it is. Actually, let's start at 3. So we're going to go Exodus 20. We're going to go to 6 just because I feel like it. Exodus 20 and start at 3. Let's start at the top. Why not? In the spirit. God spake these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the house of the land of Egypt, right? Out of the house of the land of Egypt. Egypt being the place where we learned who Remphan is. God. I mean, Acts just told us that. So, out of the house of bondage, right? Thou shalt have no other gods before me, right? So we came out of the house of bondage in Egypt, right? With all these bad things. Most High told us we shall have no other gods before him. Why? Because in Egypt we had gods, right? We learned the gods of Egypt, right? Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, period, right? And that's what we were doing. We were making images of the planets, right? Or that is in the earth beneath, right? So we're not supposed to make any images of the core or the planet's core, or that is in the water underneath the earth. So we're not to make any graven images of things that are underneath the earth in the water, right? Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generations of them that hate me, right? And showing mercies unto them, unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments, right? But we weren't keeping the commandments because what were we doing? We were making idols, right, from the heavens.
I'm sorry, I'll be right back.
Well, why you gotta tell me? Most High, man. People don't use their brain anymore, right? So we understand. With that, let's get it. We're going to show you what a lily is now, right? Because I'm pretty sure I brought it out. We understand what Israel was doing, what Israel's been doing, right? And I'll tell you, there's no new thing under the sun, right? And we've been serving these images for a long time. I mean, since the time, at least the time of Egypt, and the captivity of Egypt, and we haven't let go of those idols since, right? Israel still worships things under the water, things above the sky, things from here on the earth, right? Now let's go to understanding what a lily is. Right? I'm gonna start, yeah, right here. Right here, verse 33. We'll start about here. All right, this is Exodus 28:33, dealing with the lily. And beneath upon the hem of it thou shalt make pomegranates of blue and of purple and of scarlet. So these are the colors, right? These are the colors. You were supposed to have a color banner of these colors on the wall of the temple, right? These are the Israelite colors, the nation, right? Round about them thereof, and bells of gold between them round about, right? So this is on the priest garments, and these are the Aaronites, bro. So I don't want to see nobody else wearing this if you ain't from the tribe of Aaron. All right, because this just isn't for you. All right. Let's see. Let's even see what the title here is. Garments of the priest, right? And take unto thee Aaron and thy brothers and his sons, right? The Aaronites. So we can clear that up, so we don't see no wicked jakes trying to wear priestly garments. All right. A golden bell and a pomegranate. A golden bell and a pomegranate upon the hem of the robe round about, and it shall be upon Aaron to minister, and his sound shall be heard when he goeth in unto the holy place. Wherefore the Lord, before the Lord, and when he cometh out, that he die not, right? So that's what we were supposed to do. We were supposed to make pomegranates, right, on the priestly garments, golden bell, and pomegranates, right? We understand that. Let's get to the next verse. Let's jump. First Kings. So let's just think about that, right? How important that the lily, the pomegranate had to be for you to well, for the Most High, Salakia, to tell the Aaronites to put it on the robes, right? Now let's get this. I'm going to start at 18. All right. First Kings, chapter 7, verse 18. And he made the pillars and 2 rows about upon the one network of cover and chapters that were upon the top with pomegranates. And so did he for the other chapters, right? And the chapters that were upon the top of the pillars were of lily work in the porch of cubits, right? Now we gotta understand, man. These things are so important, right? I mean, come on, he keeps on talking about it, right? The chapters upon the 2 pillars had pomegranates also above, over against the belly, which was by under the network, and the pomegranates were 200 in rows round about upon the other chapters. So he put 200 pomegranates, man. There were so many lilies on these things. You don't even understand, right? Like, yeah, the 2 pillars. And this is dealing with the temple, man. This is the temple that was given to him by David, right? Told, you need to build this. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to deal with that, right? I'm going to show you what a temple man is eventually. We'll get there. All right. But for right now, let's get back to dealing with the lily, right? Because temple man's a little deep for you brothers right now. Second Ezra's. Go back to Second Ezra's now, chapter 5. You can finally pull it, right? Right? This is Second Ezra's. Now you got to understand. The Most High likens Israel into a lot of things, right? He told the priests to put lilies on their garments. He told Solomon to put lilies and pomegranates all over the temple, which the temple is a body, all right? It's the body, all right? The temple is where the Most High dwells. God, not necessarily being the temple as in physical form of a body or of a house, right? Of a temple like that, like a church, so you could say a temple, right? But the temple as in the body, right? The priestly chambers, right? A lot of brothers don't even understand what that is. They don't know what a priestly chamber is, right? They don't know what it. They like to rock it, but they don't know what it is. They can't break it down. Like if I asked you, what is that? You wouldn't know, right? And I'm trying to keep it kind of vain, right? Because I'm gonna bring this out later. We're gonna bring out Temple Man breakdowns. I promise you that. All right. But as far as this right now, we're dealing with the lily. What is a lily? Who is the lily, right? Why is it not a star? Why do people go and say that? Oh, that's that wicked star, brother, around your neck. You don't even understand what it means, man. All right. But you rock that damn turban on your head. You don't know what that means either. Most jakes are just simple, man. They do it for the look because they think they look cool, but they have no spiritual knowledge or understanding to it and what it means, right? Yeah, so this is Second Ezra, chapter 5, and let's get it, right? Let me show you who that lily is. 24. And of all lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee, right? God has chosen one pit, right? Chose you, Israel, one pit, and of all the flowers thereof, one lily, right? One lily, one flower, one nation, right? What was the pit? Let me ask you. You guys understand what the pit is? The pit is dealing with the land, right? The pit, the land, the seed, where we come from, right? The lineage. And the lily is that flower. What grows there, right? What grows in that pit? The lily, the Israelites, right? Now, I already brought out wisdom, so we don't need to bring that out. Let's bring out Amos. Amos 5. Amos 5. 26. All right, this is gonna cut. All right. So let me ask you something. Did Israel make lilies? Did Israel make the pomegranate? They didn't. Who made it? The Most High, Yahweh. Right. So this is Amos. We're gonna start at 5 and 25. All right. Actually, let's start at 24 because it's deep, right? But let judgments run down as water and righteousness as a mighty stream. Have ye offered unto me sacrifices and offerings in the wilderness 40 years, O house of Israel? What were we dealing with earlier? How they sacrificed unto the moons, unto the stars, unto the sun, right? What did he say? But let judgment rain down as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. Why? Because ye have offered unto me sacrifices and offerings in the wilderness 40 years. Unto who, though? Who were they sacrificing, right? Unto remphan, right? Unto images made, created, right? Images of bodies, stars in the skies, under the water, right? Anything on the land, right? How God, right? Gad, he likes to worship animals, man, spirits, right? Look at Levi, man. Levi marries their idols. They literally bring an idol that they make and they worship, they dance with it, and they marry it, man. If you don't believe me, go to Vice, all right? Go to Vice and watch the Haitian practices, man. I promise you, they'll bring it out, right? But ye have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch, right? And your Chun, your images, the star of your God, which ye made to yourselves, right? Now let's get these words. That's powerful, right? See who's Chion, crybaby, right? An image or pillar, probably a statue of a Syrian Babylonian god of the planet Saturn, and used in symbolic Israelite apostasy, right? So we already know, man, these are the images, right, of planets that we were worshiping. We were worshiping Saturn, moon, stars. I mean, man, what was Paul dealing with when he went into the temple? He was dealing with these people worshiping Venus and Mars, and they were calling him the names, and they were worshiping him like he was a god, man. Jake is so fucking. Jake is so simple, man. Salakia on my language. I get it. I get annoyed, man. How simple Jake is. Just thinking, like, man, it's a terrible thing, man. You guys are lost, right? That looks powerful right there. Let's pull one in songs, right? Uh, uh, uh. All right. So we know that a star is something that's made by hands, right? We know that it is something that represents a luminous body, something from the sky, right? Steel. We also know that the shield isn't from the sky, right? You can see it here, right here on God's green earth, right? And I'll tell you what, it represents over and over, and it's in perfect harmony. A snowflake, right? 6 points, actually seven if you count the middle, right? What else? A pomegranate, 6 points, seven if you catch the middle. And if you look at a lily, it's in the shape of a menorah, right? That's the beauty of it. Let's get it. This is 11 down, right? And this is Song of Solomon 6 and 11. I went down into the garden of nuts to see the fruits of the valley, and to see whether the vine flourished and the pomegranates budded. What? And the pomegranates budded, right? What are the pomegranates? All right, we are those pomegranates, all right? Remember, I went into that one pit, that one lily, one flower, that one fruit. Huh? I mean, let's go. Let's show. Let's show you what lilies look like, right? Uh, Slovakia. In 1 second, I'll show you guys. I'm sure. I forgot to share screen. Boom, lilies, right? Let's get it. Water. All right, lilies. All right, let's look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Right. Let's look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't see it. 5 and 6. All right. Let's look at these lilies. It's 4, right? Right here. 5 and 6. Look at every time 6. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Completion, right? That shows you completion. This is completion right here. This is what a lily is, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 5, 6, and then look, 7, right here. It's completion, man. It's perfection. It's just showing you what Israel is complete. Israel is everything, right? If you understand what the lily is, then you understand what the symbol means, right? Look at this. Do you know what that is? Man, when David was in meditation, you know what he saw? the wa, right? Da, da wa da, da wa da, right? David, right? A lot of in the Yiddish it would be David, if I'm not mistaken, right? But if those Yiddish try to come at you, you just tell them Atala Yehudi, Atala Yehudi, right? You're not a Jew, all right? You're not a Jew. Get out of here. Let's see, right? Look at this one. That one's beautiful. See it. Let's see this one. This one's fucking great, right? So lily. Do we not see it? And this is the lily that you find in Israel, right? The dawada, right? So we gotta understand what a lily is, what it really is, what it represents, right? Look at, see? Can we understand this now a little bit more? Israel, look at this. This is a beautiful one. Look at that. You see that? That's come on. Come on, Israel. You kidding me? Let's show you. Let's get it. Alright? See? See how it opens up? Think about that. The lilies, right? Right here. Look at how beautiful that is. We were going to put those on our garments in scarlet and purple and in blue, right? Look at how the buds open up, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, middle 7, right? Come on, man. Let's get it. Let's think about it, Israel. Let's use our mind, right? Look at that. Look at how pretty that is. That's not a fully formed one. That's just a baby. It's barely starting. It's going to bust out a few more. All right. Now let's, like we did with the lily. So we can get a better understanding, right? Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That lily. That's us, right? Let's see what this has to say, right? One can't help being impressed by the possible influence of the pomegranate may have had the design of the Star of David. Something to ponder, right? Something to ponder, right? How do you know David wasn't in his vineyard and just looking at a beautiful pomegranate, right? Just like, man, it's my name, right? Is that not possible? Not at all possible, right? Look at, come on, more. Look at this one. That one's beautiful. It's a necklace. Come on, Israel. You're telling me this is hard to see? This is hard to understand? You can't understand this? This is a parable to you? This is nature at its finest, right? What is God? God is natural, right? Nature. All right. Let's look. There's more. I can show you more. All right. Let's see. I didn't even put in Star David. Look at how beautiful this is. This is in nature, right? Natural base, right? 6 points, right? 7 with the middle. Look at. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, dude. Look at. Everywhere. It's everywhere. We did not make this. This was made itself. Okay? We don't worship the lily. We don't bow down to it. We don't pray to it. We pray to Yahweh. You know, Abinawa Yahweh. Bashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. All right? In the name of his son, right? We don't worship these things. We don't bow down to these things, all right? That's going to be the conclusion of my lesson. I mean, I've showed you guys plenty of examples. All right. I've also explained what the Star of Remphan is, what it was dealing with, right? And in fact, you know what? Okay, we can pull one more, right? Let's get one more before let's see, exit out of that before I end this, right? Mm-mm-mm. Acts 14, right? Let's get it, boys. I'm gonna go ahead and share. Slovakia. Now we're gonna read it from the top so we can get understanding, right? And it came to pass in Iconium that they were both together into the synagogue of the Jews. And so spake the great multitude, both of the Jews and also the Greeks, believed it. Right? So they were speaking to the Jews and of the Greeks that believed. But the unbelieving Jews stirred up the Gentiles and made their minds evil, affected against the brethren. Wow. So he said the Jews, right, stirred up the Gentiles, right, made their minds evil, affected against the brethren, right? Which brethren? The Jews, man. The Jews over there. Right? And when there was an assault made both of the Gentiles and also of the Jews with their rules to use them despitefully and to stone them, they that were aware of it had fled unto Lystra and Derbe, cities of Lycaonia, and unto the region that lieth round about, right? Let's see. And then let's get to it. Then came heard Paul speak, who steadfastly behold him, and perceiving that he had faith to be healed, right? Said with a loud voice, stand up, or stand upright on thy feet. And he leaped and walked. And when Paul saw that, and when people saw what Paul had done, they lifted up their voices, saying, in the speech of Lycaonia, the gods are come down to us in the likeness of men, right? So we got to understand these people here, they were Jews. They were our people, right? These Gentiles that they were speaking to, possibly some could have been heathens, possibly. I mean, but who are we to hearken unto, right? Unto the Jews and the lost sheep of the house of Israel, the Gentiles, right? The lost sheep, right? We got to understand the wheat with the tare, all right? I'm not going to teach no different than what the Bible says, all right? That's what it is, right? So we were dealing with our people, right? The lost sheep, the Gentiles, and the Jews, right? What did we show earlier? That our people always worship planets, right? They always worshipped idols, right? Remphan. Oh, Slovakia. Slovakia. All right. Now let's get it. We're at verse 12. And they called Barnabas Jupiter and Paul Mercurius because he was the chief speaker, right? So Barnabas was under Paul. And my thing is, Barnabas was a Hebrew, right? He was a Hebrew of a Hebrew, right? You know what I'm saying? He was a Jew, right? Hey, Paul was a Hebrew of a Hebrew too, right? So they call them brethren in the top. That's how you know it's dealing with people of the nation. They were brothers. They were brotherly in the blood, right? Said with a loud voice, stand upright on thy feet, and leaped and walked, right? And when the people saw what Paul had done, they had lifted up their voices, saying in the speech of Lycaonia, the gods are come down to us in the likeness of man, right? And they called Barnabas Jupiter and Paul Mercurius because he was the chief speaker. Then the priest of Jupiter, which was before their city, brought oxen and garlands into the gates and would have done sacrifice with the people. So they were about to sacrifice to Paul and Barnabas, right? Which when the apostle Barnabas and Paul heard of they rent their clothes and ran in among the people crying out. So They said, "Oh hell no!" Right? Ripped their clothes off. Right? Barnabas and Paul, and they started just rebuking people. Right? Crying out and saying, "Sirs, why do these things? Ye also are men of like passions with you, and preach unto you that ye should turn from these vanities unto the living God, which made heaven and earth and sea and all things that are therein." Right? Now, what do we know about remphan? Not living, right? That's the definition, not living. So remphan, by definition, can be many gods. There's not one form for remphan, right? Remphan is an image that you can set up to worship. Like Christians, they have an image set up to worship now, right? The faces of the judges thereof, right? They've covered the faces of the judges thereof. They covered the face of Christ, and they worship that image. That is a remphan, brother. Now, with that, I yield. If there's any questions, man, you guys can reach out to me. I'll throw the email and the link. Reach out here, man. Man, chat. Boom. I'll throw it up for you guys. Go ahead, reach out right here. 12 Gates, New Mexico at gmail.com, and I will respond to you or leave a comment. I'll get back to you in the post. That's Shalom.